What's up, YouTube? It is day 2, round 2, fight, or whatever. And I'm gonna go ahead and grease the machine. I got it warming up, and we'll get to going. It's like 31 degrees, what my truck says, but it's supposed to be 73. So, I don't know. Make up your mind. I already got the 490 gassed up. The bigger trees, I figured I'm gonna fell them with it. This little guy will do it, but it's slower and this chain's about toast. I think my only dislike about this little saw is this O-ring keeps popping out of the groove on the oil cap. Pops right in there like it should stay, and then it just pops out every time I take it off. And I'm about out of oil. It's really cold, so there's probably a lot more oil in here than I think. Oh yeah. You need to pour gas all over your saw just to wake it up on these cold mornings. Get it all over your hands so you can smell it in the cab of your machine all day long. Gasoline, good with coffee. Yuck. Well, thank goodness I had the heated seat on in here, because I had the AC running this whole time. It's been warming up. A little bit of coffee, you know, because you have to. I'll stop and take a little break for a second, sort of. Just kind of get up here and look. I haven't been messing with the camera much this morning. I want to get a lot of this done, and didn't really want to be fooling around with the camera too much. But this is where we're at now. These big trees behind me, they're coming out, but they're gonna get cut. I'll saw them out, and then some of the little ones are on top of these big rock piles. So the big rock piles, I'm not gonna bury the mulching head into those. I'll just cut those off and they can be piled with the other ones. But this is section 1, and then section, well, actually that was section 1, and this is section 2, I guess. It's basically 3 sections, because we started out just doing this little middle section to get just a view of the mountain, and now we're working to get all of this off of here, so that way it'll match the building. I've started to pile a few large trees down there at the bottom, and man, it is thick. These trees, you know, some of them are so close you have to eat multiples at a time in order to even be able to eat them, because you can't get the head in there where you want it. But we still got this whole section here. It's got several big trees in it, all the way down to our flag. I'm hoping that's going to thin up just a little bit. It's certainly not as thick as what I've been working on. And out towards the edge, things tend to get a little bit thicker. You notice on the outside of the edge, or the outside edge, gets all the sunshine and everything. But I guess all of this used to be cleared at one point. It was, it's just grown up over the last 15 or 20 years. So, yeah. And this little dog still following me around. I haven't killed it yet. Well, the machine's doing its regen stuff, so I went ahead and blew it out. I'd hate to be out here throwing sawdust in it and it creating a bunch of heat to burn the exhaust out and then having a fire of some sort. I just don't have time for it. This side over here is looking like a lot of large stuff and then open spaces. I kind of like the open spaces. I'm good with that. Boy, the old machine's screaming. I'm used to being inside. It's nice and quiet in there. Yeah. Not really sure what that is. Oh, it's just a big leaf. Kind of looked like a hive or mushroom or something. Yeah, this will be the last section here, and it's looking like it could already be a lot easier. Oh, sounds like the regen shut off. That's the first 2 sections of it. It's been tough, and there are little surprise rocks like this, little tiny ones, give you the boots, so you know what a dandy that is. And that one over there is about twice that size. Yeah, it's going good, I guess. It gets kind of monotonous, I'm not gonna lie. Being in there just eating the same thing over and over can get monotonous. But anyways, it's what I've chose to do, I reckon. Oh yeah. Well, let's jump back in and get some more done. I went ahead and greased the head. I'm gonna shoot a little fuel in it. Then I'll get back at it. Had a bolt fall out of my pump. That's not what you want. I found a cedar in here, guys. Boy, I like a cedar. It is so nice to get a cedar. Just look at that. Got a little hot on it. Oh yeah. That's the satisfying part about this, when you get to eat cedars. Cedars and little pines, oh yeah. They're the ones that are the way that, people imagine mulching. They imagine you just drive through the woods and you just knock it all down and it all eats it. Or it eats it all, whatever. But, see, look at that. There's no tree left. But cartoons have done us dirty. As kids, we seen bulldozers and they just drive through the woods and just knock every tree down really fast, and then 10 minutes later they had a parking lot or a field or whatever. That's not how it works. Dirt work, forestry work, it's all tedious work. So you seen me do the front, which was back behind us. Here's my hands. But we're working our way down to the bottom right now, and then we're gonna work our way over, and then we'll just take care of this section. Be the last section to have to mulch. I haven't decided if I'm just gonna chainsaw them down, or if I want to just mulch the bottoms of them and knock them over. I really don't want to leave stumps that I have to drive over while I'm out here with the grapple moving the big trees, but that may be the way of it. Whoa! These little rubbery hickory trees, boy, the tops of them, they'll get bound up in there once in a while. Sometimes they make you have to stop and pull them out. It's really only if you let the head get so slow, you put such a load on it, it starts to slow down, and then you're having to, you don't have enough speed to beat it up, so it'll wrap around it or get hung. not sure if this machine's supposed to have teeth on the sides in there, like a special side tooth. I think it is, but it doesn't have them. But I think that would help a lot with debris trying to get stuck on the side. I have to get out and pull stuff out every once in a while. Not very often, but once in a while. Because it'll just sit there and start smoking. All this stuff is dry. I mean, we've had a lot of rain, but it's drying up really fast, especially with that wind that we had. There's a stump. Does this look familiar? The old grapple. Cutting these off, and we're going to stack them down here at the bottom. I've already got some started, you can probably see. What I don't like is now there's stumps out here that I've got to drive around. But I've left them a little bit high, for now at least, so that I can not lose a track on them. This grapple's fantastic. Got a pretty good view going from up top, which, if anybody's sitting there going, "He left the stumps, that's a mess," well, that's it's meant to be this way. It's just for a view. It's not gonna be a playground or anything of that nature. Just a hillside. They need to get the trees off so they can see the mountain. My trusty backup camera. Well, that's handy right now. Yeah, I really don't like these stumps up here. I guess if I don't see it, I'll feel it when I hit it, right? Noisy on here when I'm just backing up and barely touching the throttle. Oh there, good news bee. I did cut, the first one I cut down nearly fell on top of the machine because I wasn't going to use the machine. Boy, my hair looks good. Anyway, so I wasn't going to use the machine, I was just going to fell them. But it's really windy, which is kind of a dumb time to be trying to cut trees, even though these aren't like massive trees and there's not much they can hit other than me. It's still not a, you know, desirable way to do it. So yeah, little bitty old tree. Put a tiny bit of pressure on it, so at least I got one place to run, because the one I cut it just like I'm supposed to. The weight was on that side and a gust of wind came and it blew it this way. I mean, I had my wedge cut out, I was cutting the back side and it got me. So not gonna risk it, not worth it. Down a little bit so we don't get censored on the YouTubes. for your benefit, I'll snatch this one up, and then I'm gonna get back to knocking these down, because all the other ones did real well, other than the one that tried to follow me. But this one here, not so much. It's not where I want it. I've been dropping a whole bunch of them in line so I can grab multiples. Just grab one at a time, and it's ridiculous, you know what I mean? It'd be a waste of time, waste of customers' time too. But this one's crooked, so we're gonna move it. I've got a heart when it comes to my customers. I'm always thinking about them. Like, I'll actually sit in here and get aggravated if something's taking too long. And it is what it is. And that's how I make my money, by coming out and doing the hard jobs that either you don't have the equipment to do, or you don't have the time to do. And that's my time. At the same time, there's another time, I would like to, you know, make sure I'm taking care of my customers. Money's hard to come by, and I get it. I'm not here to spend your money, but I'm here to make it, if you want to spend it. Well, alright guys, this is the end of day 2. We got the stumps. They said it was fine to leave the stumps, so I left them just a smidge high where I can see them, because I'm having to track in between them. But it's going really well. It's windy. I should have got some more saw footage, because I don't know if I said it in the beginning of the video, but I had one almost fall on the machine. And then I had one down here that the wind threw it back on top, and I even had the grapple up in the air on it, and the wind comes so hard it picked it up and threw it over the top of it and got it in a bind. But I'm here to told you that grapple is tough, because it landed over it was a pretty good sized tree, and it twisted in between the two grapple or whatever, so it was underneath one side and over top of the other one, and it was kind of tough to get it out. I thought I was gonna have to cut it, but it landed on top and hit the top plate on that arm, the far grapple arm. It didn't dent it or anything. It left a little smear from wood, but that was it. And then it also kind of rolled over onto the plate that goes across the back where the hoses are. The stuff's made out of some good steel, like it's thick steel. I know some of the Chinese units, they've got the real thin stuff, you know, and it's no good. It's all bent up, it's all twisted and hanging out crazy. But yeah, I'm definitely pleased with that. But this is the job. We got these few trees here to get out. This is a rock pile, that's why some of the smaller trees are still in it. But it wasn't a good place to get to mulching. You can see the big stone sticking up out of the middle of that. And then we've got the last section over there, and they're just big trees, and we're gonna take those out and stack it all down at the bottom. And the view's coming along from up high where they'll be viewing it. You can see the whole mountain. I'll try and get a little view of that so we can see it. But anyways guys, that's it for me. I gotta finish up tomorrow. I don't know that I'm gonna film it. So anyways, thanks for watching, and God bless. Check you later. Would you just look at that mountain? Beautiful.